Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I'm gonna add this movie to my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I guess you can debate on whether or not this qualifies as a horror film. Maybe it's more a thriller, but when you Google this film, horror is one of the categories that is listed. It says horror, it says thriller, it says mystery. This film is called Caddo Lake or Caddo Lake. They say it in the movie, and god damn it, I forget how it's pronounced. This is a 2024 film. It was written and directed by Celine Held and Logan George. And it's produced by M. Night Shyamalan. Now, obviously, I just said the two people that wrote this film and directed it. So I'm not suggesting that M. Night had a lot to do with the film or the story. Maybe he just simply got it financed, or maybe he just simply got it put out there. But when I saw his name in the credits, I did say, all right, here we go. What kind of a film am I in store for? Because honestly, this movie was requested for me to watch. And so I said, all right, fine. I will watch this. And I watched it. And this is going to be hard to talk about because it's one of those films where it's kind of built on the mystery. It's built on you watching it and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on at the end of the day. And then either when it reveals itself or when it starts to reveal itself as far as what's going on, as far as what's out there, you can either vibe with it, you can either say, fuck yeah, this is weird and cool and different, or you could say, this is weird, I wasn't expecting this, I don't like this. I mean, I don't really know where most people come down on it because it's a film I had not heard of. It's not something that I think was big when it came out. Like, I don't think a lot of people talked about it or it got a lot of attention. Maybe it did, and maybe I'm just out of the loop. The film stars Dylan O'Brien, which, remember when Dylan O'Brien was in all of those young adult type films and he was everywhere, right? He was the young 20-something-year-old playing a teenager, and he was the kid that all these girls loved. Now, he's a little older here. I mean, he's still pretty young, but he's got the beard and he's a little more grizzled. He's had a hard life because you see that he's dealing with the death of his mother. His mother died however many years ago, and he just hasn't been taking it well. He's been struggling, and he's sort of beating himself up over the fact that maybe it was his fault. And you see how that affects him and his relationship with his father and his relationship with his girlfriend. While that story is going on, we have a second story where this girl, Ellie, played by Eliza Scanlon, she is dealing with her not so great relationship with her mother. Anytime these two are around each other, they argue, they bicker, they just clash a lot. And Ellie has a daughter, Anna, who gets caught in the middle of these arguments, right? And one day, the daughter goes missing. And that becomes their plot of like what happened to their daughter and how maybe that's going to make the relationship between that family even worse. And so as you're going back and forth between these two different stories, you're sort of wondering, like, okay, this is some good acting going on here. There's some good mystery going on, especially with the missing daughter, trying to figure out what happened. You got Dylan O'Brien seeing, like, is he unraveling? Is he going crazy? They mentioned that whatever condition his mom had that she died from, like, is that happening to him or going to happen to him? And so you're like, okay, this is interesting, but how are these two stories connected? They constantly cut back and forth. And like I said, because it's M. Night Shyamalan, I'm sitting there going like, what's the twist? What is it? And I say it's M. Night Shyamalan. He didn't write it. He didn't direct it. I know. But God damn it, motherfucker. You've created a name for good and for bad. When your name shows up, even as a producer, I'm watching it trying to figure out, like, okay, is this what's going on? Is that what's going on? I had 2 or 3 guesses on what could be the twist. And I was wrong on all of them. Like, this goes in such a direction. Obviously, by the title, Caddo Lake, you see that there is this lake that kind of seems to be the center of, like, of both stories. That's sort of the one through line, is that there's this mysterious lake that both characters wind up in and might be the source of, like, a lot of their trauma and a lot of the reason why things are happening to them. And I don't want to go too much further than that. I really don't, because some reviews that can be accused of being too spoilerish, and so the risk of I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know how much the trailer gives away. I'm gonna play it safe and just kind of stop there and say that I enjoyed this movie. I did. Now, I will be honest. For some people, it might be a slow start. It might take too long to get interesting for some people, but I personally appreciated the slow build, at least as far as trying to see what each character is going through. And then when, especially like when the daughter goes missing, that's when stuff starts to get really out there, and that's when you get more intrigued. It's almost like a slow ravel down this hole of weirdness. It might not work for everybody, like I said. I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, this is guaranteed. Obviously, it came out over a year ago, and not a lot of people were talking about it. But now that I've seen it, I was like, man, this movie was different. It was different. It went in a lot of different directions. I like the acting, like I said. I think that the actors playing it straight, the actors being interesting, and the character dynamics, the relationship dynamics, I think that's probably what sells it the most, because if that's bad, then you don't really give a shit about the mystery and the answers that the movie wants you to ask. I'm gonna say I recommend it. You know, if you haven't heard of this movie, maybe watch the trailer to see if the trailer does a better job at explaining everything, since I'm being a little more cautious. Or just go into it blind. Maybe going into it blind is the best way to watch this film. And that's also possibly why it's hard to promote or market a movie this sort of in secret. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you've heard of Caddo Lake, if you knew it existed, if you've seen it. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later. Please won't you save my desires?